Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm Melody.
I'm Bianca.
We have a great surprise for you guys.
Great surprise.
I have an echo in this room. I don't know what's doing it.
Echo.
I don't know if you guys can hear it too. But there's no one behind me. But I have here a story that Bianca wrote. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna talk to you for a second, and then I'm gonna leave. Let's begin.
The moonlight gleamed through the window, illuminating the small room. The trees scratched against the frosted glass. My eyes opened groggily as I awoke in a small, tidy room. A couple of couches were placed around a small television set. On one of the couches sat a tanned girl with caramel-colored hair. This was Melody. She was my best friend and roommate at the time. Her face reflected calmness and peace, but her hands fidgeted, revealing a slight nervousness. She stared at the screen in front of her, though nothing was playing. I made my way down the dark, narrow hallway that split the living room and the kitchen. I tried to walk quietly so I didn't disturb Melody. As I passed the living room, she looked up at me and smiled. Her smile always calms me down. It was so bright and comforting. She tapped the seat next to her on the couch to invite me over. I walked slowly. I still wasn't sure about these occurrences. Her face was calm on the outside, but her eyes reflected... 1 second.
Nice intermission. I'm acting it out.
Of course you are. But her eyes reflected something that I'd never seen before in her hazel eyes. A silver tear began to form, and I froze. I couldn't move forward, and I couldn't take a step away. Everything in my mind was gone. Melody stood up shakily and moved towards me with another calming smile. My muscles began to relax. She grabbed my hand, and I could feel the tension inside her body. Something was wrong. I couldn't tell what. You want to read this part, Melody?
Is it me?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what. Bianca.
Her voice was a low whisper.
Oh, dang. I read the wrong part.
It's on the top. Maybe you
Oh,
should come
good
back
thing.
here.
I love you, B. Please don't forget that. You guys don't know where this is
Melody,
going.
what are you talking about? I wanted to speak, but my mouth wouldn't open. Melody stared into my eyes, and I stared back at her. The pupil of her eye had expanded in size. It looked as though her entire eye was being eaten by a black hole inside her eye. I could see the darkness growing and taking a hold over her body. It was eating away at her, trying to turn her to nothing. Everything kept getting darker until Melody was gone. All that was there was darkness. Where its eyes would have been was only blue. The blue light burned my skin. The darkness grabbed my wrist and tried to pull me closer. I didn't want to be eaten. I screamed. When I snapped back into reality, I realized that I'd been staring at her for too long. Melody didn't look concerned about anything, so I put the image out of my head. My hand was still in hers, which made me feel safe. As long as I had her hand, nothing could happen. Everything would be fine. Melody let go of my hand and went back to her former place on the couch. She kneeled down in front of the couch and moved the curtain of fabric that was around it. Beneath the floral flap was a shoebox. She pulled it out of its hiding place, and I could see the multicolored tape that covered it. I didn't recognize the box, and I had no idea that it had been there. I never thought of Melody as a secretive person. Now all I could wonder was how many other secrets she was hiding. Melody got back up and turned to me with a slightly different smile than she had before. She moved slowly as she made her way to where I was standing. She held out the box and placed it in my hands.
Bianca,
Her voice was shaky.
will you give this to our parents, please?
The box was light, but there was a weight to it that I didn't quite understand. It was like an emotional weight that I didn't know. This box meant something, but I didn't know why. I looked up at Melody confused. She gave me a sad smile and kissed my cheek. Her hands pulled away from mine, and she slowly made her way down the small hallway to the balcony at the end of it. I followed her into the hallway. Her hair swayed from side to side, and I felt like I was in a trance. Melody opened the window and placed her hands on the metal railing on the end of the balcony. She turned around and smiled at me, calling me closer.
Bianca.
I moved towards her slowly, and everything started to look hazy. The pale light of the moon glistened around Melody and made her look like an angel. Her pale dress glimmered like sunlight caught in a pure white cloud. Melody was an angel. She was my angel. She smiled at me and I froze. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Oh, I still have more. I love you, Bianca.
This time her voice was clear and gentle. I love you too, Melody. The voice didn't seem to come from me. It didn't fit with the scene. It felt wrong. Melody smiled as if she didn't hear the imperfection that I had added to her perfect moment. I was watching Melody become her true self, the angel she was always meant to be.
Oh, I still say more. Goodbye, Bianca.
She leaned over the bar and began to fly. Like an angel she soared, but she didn't fly up. She flew straight down. I ran to the bar and tried to catch her. I wanted to stop her before she hit the ground. I pointed up to remind her that she had gone the wrong way, but it was too late. Her beautiful body was lying asleep on the dark ground. Around her head was a small pool of crimson. On her lips was the gentle smile of an angel, but her eyes hung open with the bright frosty blue of a demon. The end.